Hey, what's going on, guys? I have for you guys today an Elden Ring run where I was playing with two of my friends, actually. This is actually a run where we had probably what is like the roughest, one of the roughest starts I've ever had in Nightreign, and this was also the Deep of Night mode. This was only like, I think my second or third time playing this game mode. I'd only won like one of the runs previously. But, I mean, getting started right off the bat, I mean, we're jumping in at this Elder Lion. Me and my buddy Relaxed over there, we were thinking to ourselves, hey, we might be able to take this guy on. And we started hitting him a couple times and realized, yeah, okay, you know what, this damage is pretty good. But the problem with the damage in Deep of Night is not only is our damage decent in the beginning, but the enemy's damage is way better. And that's actually a lie. Our damage isn't decent in the beginning here. You might be wondering why I ran away like that and didn't try to save my buddy there. He was telling me just to run away. He told me a direction to go into. I actually ended up going the wrong direction, but basically he was like, we don't even have any souls or any runes anyway right now. Just die, or you know, just let me die and come back and meet us up here in a second. So yeah, my friends are up there on top of the hill. I think they're trying to just gather as many runes as they can, miscellaneous runes. Relaxed, I think, actually tries to go back to get his runes. And then, of course, I get struck down here as well. The thing I'm learning about the Deep of Night mode so far, the strategy I'm using right now is just try to focus on killing ads for the first couple of levels, so that way you can just gain a couple of levels before you really fight anything, gain a bit more vigor, gain a bit more damage per second, that sort of thing. But the other thing, what was I going to say? The other thing, too. The other thing you kind of want to focus on, or the thing I've been focusing on, is also trying to find, I mean, either a blue weapon right off the bat, or, I mean, I kind of like the way I set up my weapon with some of the starting damage sometimes, so I'll just immediately try and get a Smithing Stone 1. Going into a tunnel isn't a bad idea to start things off, trying to get that weapon up to purple even as well. The bosses in the tunnels aren't the worst, I'll say, in terms of their health and damage, but because this is Deep of Night mode, they definitely do have a lot more health, and they do hit like a truck. So yeah, my buddies are inside the fort there. I believe they're actually just trying to make sure that they are killing the boss in there. And I just blew myself up. I thrown a firebomb into an explosive barrel there. And you know, one thing I kind of debated on with this run was cutting out this beginning part just because of how like terrible it is, how chaotic it is. But the thing that me and my buddies were actually like kind of hyping ourselves up about before this run is we were saying, okay, you know what, no matter what happens, we need to make sure that we don't quit this run. We need the new relics, we need the new upgrades, we need to become stronger, and most importantly, we need to gain as much knowledge as we can. Even if that means dying, that's okay. I mean, we're still rewarded for failed runs. So we get to like basically the second, or like the first half of night 1, and I think I'm still level 1. But, I mean, spoiler alert, we actually end up winning, and that's kind of the moral of this video here, is it's just, you know, don't ever give up. Take every opportunity to learn, and learning's not what you're able to do in the run. You know, maybe you'll actually, maybe you'll win. Maybe you've learned everything there is to learn. It's just all execution now at this point. I don't know. But yeah, you might notice, too, I'm using my, I'm two-handing my sword, which is, you know, a very common thing to do in a Souls game. But the thing I'm doing that's a little different from what I do typically in just like a regular run of Nightreign is I'm using my charged R2 attack, or the charged right trigger. If you play on mouse, I don't know, first of all, what's wrong with you, but second of all, I don't know what button that is. But here we are. We're finally all together as a group. Coming here to join the Recluse. This is actually a pretty easy first boss to kill, just because it's very easy to stun lock. I think the easiest bosses to take on, honestly, are probably the forts, because you're either going to get this guy or you're going to get the giant, or potentially the Virgin. The Virgin, I think, is a little tougher to deal with because of its wide hitbox, and everything in this game kills you really quickly, which is why I'm recommending heavily to focus on killing the different. Why am I blinking on it? The different ads first. Okay, admittedly, I am watching this run after the fact, obviously, as the way I'm talking right now. But I had no idea what we were looking at on the map because I'm watching a preview of this video, and the preview was too small for me to be able to tell what we're looking at. But now I think I was able to make it a little bigger. I should be able to remember more clearly what it is that we're doing here. But honestly, it's kind of fun watching these runs a couple days after the fact. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so here we're going back into the tunnel here. One thing I always try to do when I go into the tunnels is I try to always look for the dead bodies in particular that drop items, because a lot of times they'll drop smithing stone 1s, but on rare occasions they'll drop smithing stone 2s. And that can come in handy, especially playing as Wilder. Wilder's one of my favorite characters to play because of the fact, he's a quality build. He can wield just about any type of weapon you find in the game. He can wield decently, if not amazingly. And getting as many smithing stone 2s as Wilder, I personally like doing that because then I know, depending on what bosses I'm faced with in the game later on, depending on who the final Night Lord is, I've got different options that I can use. I think here I actually end up taking the Envoy's Great Horn because of its improved flask restoration. It's also just a really strong weapon to have in general, but I do have to wait until level 7 before I can wield it. And that guy was T-posing me, so I had to show him who's boss. I don't know why he was doing that. That was hilarious. I really like how these enemies are also dropping, like, weapons more often, too. I don't know. Damn, yeah, two in a row. That doesn't usually happen when I play Nightreign on like a regular difficulty or like an Everdark Sovereign run. Yeah, I take some extra time to kill these guys. A really easy way to kill these guys, by the way, in the tunnel is if you can have a relic that allows your weapon or your starting weapon to start off with Hoarfrost Stomp. If you can start with Hoarfrost Stomp, at least in like a standard Nightreign run, you can kill those guys in 1, maybe 2 stomps. I think there's like a slightly tougher variant that you could face, like the guys that are in red. Yeah, that is a highly effective ability to use. They're very susceptible to Frostbite. And additionally, if you don't want to use 2 Hoarfrost Stomps on them to like conserve some of your FP, you can just use it once, get them to proc Frostbite, walk up to them with while two-handing a weapon, use a strong charged attack. I gotta admit, I was a little worried I was going to run out of things to talk about, but even just watching me play this game, I just realized there's just so many fun and fascinating things that I can just nerd out over. Oh yeah, we came back and we got our revenge on the Elder Lion. I decided to go level up first because I was a little behind and I didn't want to get hit just once, but man, they were crushing it over here. Improved attack power while two-handing's pretty good. I have the Envoy's Horn, which builds up poison when I'm not at full HP, and I think that's the reason I ended up not taking that other Greatsword, because that other Greatsword actually probably would have been better for me to have taken, at least over the weapon I have currently. But it's whatever. I think I'm actually about to find my the weapon I'm going to use for the rest of this run, like right now, or at least here in a couple seconds. I did decide to go after some of these relics, I think. Oh, no, I did. That's right. They were telling me to go hit this tree, and I was going the wrong way because I was tired. And then we were going to this ruin right here, and they said that, originally that we were going to go past the ruin, but they said they were going to go here instead. So I was like, let me just run down here. They dropped right on the boss. I was like, here, let me, while you guys take out the boss, I will kill the ads. And that's another strategy that I think people can use when playing in a 3-player game. I think a lot of people do that just in general in regular co-op modes. If I'm being perfectly honest, outside of playing with my friends, I don't play with a ton of randoms when I play this solo. If I'm playing by myself, I'll usually just do solo runs. But yeah, no, I think it's actually a very viable strategy to have one teammate that's just killing the ads, trying to get as many runes as your team can. Maybe even make that person be the one who gets the additional rune acquisition when killing enemies and stuff too, just so that way you guys just get as many extra runes as possible. But look at that. I mean, it's like 2,000 runes each kill. If I was running Hoarfrost Stomp, I'd be killing these guys even quicker. In fact, honestly, Hoarfrost Stomp, guys, you're going to hear it every video. That is like the best weapon skill to use when you're in just the main world of the game. And in a lot of bosses, it's handy too. But my God, that thing can carry you so hard. So hard. That's what she said. The one thing I will say I am enjoying a lot about this mode, or that I'm like respecting about it, is that even though these guys hit harder and they can take more hits and stuff, they have more health, they don't necessarily have more poise. So I don't know. That's kind of nice, if you ask me anyway. And there it is, the weapon I use the rest of this time, the Lightning Dragon Great Claw. Yeah, so the reason I decided to take this weapon is, if I recall correctly, the enemy or the boss that we're fighting against at the end here is the, what is he called? The Dark Drift Knight, Fulgur. He is weak to lightning, so this weapon being already kind of a quality colossal weapon as it is, like if you look at its stat scaling, I'm pretty sure it scales more on or heavier on the strength and faith aspect, but I mean, that definitely has a dex as well. Anyway, the weapon already hits hard. It's going to deal like an extra however much % damage it does to him because he's weak to it. I think it's like an extra 35% damage or something like that. But it also will interrupt one of his more powerful attacks that he's going to use as well. Also got Lightning Strike here, which is nice for being able to interrupt Fulgur's attack as well. I don't think I use it in this run because I stay pretty close to him. Oh, that's right. And then I also got the Lightning Scorpion Charm. Ooh, it was right around here that I was really starting to thank myself for not giving up on the run quite just yet. Although, believe me when I say, we haven't even encountered the most challenging aspects of this run. Or we haven't even encountered the biggest hurdles we've had to encounter yet. That shit happens on day 2. Just trying to clear up as much extra trash as I can that's on the battlefield here on the map. Something that I think is interesting about wielding colossal weapons is I'm pretty sure dual wielding them and doing like the power stance attack. It's not a power stance, that's Dark Souls 2 terminology. But you know, doing like the L1 attack where you use both of the weapons to attack. I'm pretty sure that hits faster than if you're just two-handing a weapon or two-handing one of them. All right, where are we going, Yagi? What are you doing? Probably just healing up. Oh, I might have been making sure we had the Stone Sword key. Okay. Oh, that's right. We get the Royal Revenant. Okay. These guys are pretty easy to stun lock. I only have enough stamina to hit him twice, but luckily that was enough to stun him and then be able to just walk around him. It's actually amazing just how many enemy moves you can dodge in this game just by simply walking around while you're not locked onto them. Absolutely fantastic. And here they come. We got the Royal Revenant. Immediately getting him off with that charged attack. Going up to him, trying to stun him. This is where the Recluse's ultimate really, really starts to shine. My buddy who was playing Recluse this run, he's the one who ends up really, really getting, unfortunately, the short end of the stick at the end of this run here. And the thing I wanted him to know more than anything throughout the run was literally just by him popping his ult all those times that he does in the final fight and during this fight and any other time during the fight. That was literally like the most important part of the run. Without his ultimate, we would not have won this run at all. If it was just me and Iron Eye, we probably would have been completely screwed. So, even though he may not reach the highest level, he may not deal the most damage this run, that's not to say that he was not any less significant. So, just remember that, even if that happens to be you on some runs. Believe me, I've been there too, going through the game and just feeling like, crap, I am really holding these guys back or weighing them down. Maybe damage isn't the thing you need to focus on, or maybe there's some other way you can support them with your kit. I mean, Recluse, you want to talk about a good kit, man. Start making together those magic cocktails or those spirit cocktails. Get us some, like what is it, that holy fire that, like, heals the team and kills enemies. I think I end up actually taking the guard counters trigger. I don't know why I took that. I think for some reason I was thinking I was actually maybe going to block or something. In hindsight, I think enemies dying on a rare occasion actually would probably come in more handy. But we're on day 2 now, so we're a little stronger. So killing enemies on the map doesn't exactly take that much longer. We're going over here to get these Everjails. Now that I'm thinking about it too, we were definitely considering hitting some Everjails day 1. I think the run that we might have done. Oh god, it might have been a run that we did like right before this one. we died on an Everjail like right off the bat. It was like the first thing we tackled, and that was not the smartest thing in the world. And this is when I discovered that my charged R2 actually imbues my weapon with fire. I know it said magma attacks. I didn't realize it would actually imbue. I thought it was going to be more like the weapon skill. Is it eruption, I think? That's kind of more what I was expecting. I'm checking out my relics there. Remind myself what I had, but also wanted to make sure that we possibly had a thumbnail for the video. I don't know. I have no idea what I'll make. Probably something. Some goofy-ass looking thing I put together in Canva with my goofy-looking bear logo. Love that bear. Yeah. The way I decided to kind of build my relics this time around was because I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to be running into. And also, I didn't know what boss we were going to be going up against, like ahead of time. I just decided, you know what? Let's just build my relics entirely around my character's kit. Meaning, like, give them as much extra, stats, as much extra, like, character-specific abilities, like the 2 charges of the, what is that called? The grappling hook. Making my ultimate stronger. For those who might not be familiar with the strategy behind building your relics in like a base or like a regular Elden Ring Nightreign run, I mean, typically you're going to run it to basically counter whatever boss you're up against, but in Deep in Night, you don't always know what boss you're up against. And once I get deeper into these runs, too, I'm not even going to know what boss I'm going up against during the run. Oh, yeah, and the Equilibrious Beast steals part of our health. We were so lucky. Our Iron Eye didn't level up. I think he just forgot to. And as soon as this happened, I was like, oh, it's a good thing you didn't level up. You can get us out of this. Trying to get out of here, trying to figure out where exactly he is, get my bearings. But, man, you want to talk about just some wasted time. Or not wasted time, but just all the inconveniences. If you've also been paying close attention, you probably also realize we've been stuck on this western side of the map. Like, this is like the second or third time now that we've been pulled back to this exact same area, both in combination of how the storm pulled us into the map and where the boss of Night 1 was. And now the Equilibrious Beast comes back here. So we were like, oh, my God, we are never going to get these extra flask uses. Remember, never back down, never quit. You just got to keep rolling with the punches. The more of a masochist you can be, in all seriousness, the better time you're going to have playing a game like Nightreign. But I ended up taking the thing that gives me some extra runes while Also draining my health a little bit. That's what that symbol of avarice is on my head there. Or at least that's what it's called. It looks like a chest or like a mimic chest on my head. The ghost of one, anyway. Yeah, it's around this time that I was kind of paying attention. I realized my health was regenerating, or it was like going up a little bit, despite the fact that I'm now that I'm like getting my health drained from the symbol of avarice. But I was a little curious as to why my poison wasn't building up. I thought that was a little surprising, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm gonna pay attention here, but I'm pretty sure the next time I get hit, that's when the poison starts building up on me. Which is kind of interesting. So like if you take the symbol of avarice and you have a weapon on you, that will cause you to get poison buildup if you're below maximum HP. It looks like it has to be triggered by you actually getting hit. But let's continue watching to see if that's actually how it works. And honestly, for all I know, that could literally just be a bug. That might not be the way it's supposed to be. That's just how it was in this video. It was around this time that we were like, okay, the storm is literally bringing us back to this same effing spot of the map. But then we remembered, okay, there's some field bosses down there that we can kill. I don't think that's the... I don't think we went into that tunnel either. We might actually end up just going there too. But the first thing that we decided to prioritize was getting those flasks. Or at least one extra one. We still started off with 3. I don't know if there's anything in future runs that'll make it so that way we start with less. But 3 is definitely not enough. And if we make it to the final day, we'll get a bonus one. So we'll make it to 4. But I was thinking I'm going to need at least 6. And thank God we went back and got them. But this whole time, we're literally thinking, like, oh, my God, I think we're praying at this point that the castle is Crucible Knights or Banished Knights. Like, we just want something that's easy and quick to kill with a ton of ads that's going to give us a ton of runes. If I recall correctly, I'm pretty sure we got Crucible Knights this time. Yeah, see, okay, so storm damage can trigger poison buildup, which is kind of interesting. Don't make the mistake I did there. I technically didn't need to heal. Although for some reason my interaction button was not always hitting every time I was using it. Quickly just going to top up on health, and then I use the Spirit Spring to get a bit of a head start on the direction I need to get going in. It was at this point that I realized that marker that I was going towards was actually not where I needed to go. I felt bad because my buddy followed me. This spot right here has got to be one of my least favorite spots in the Nightreign map. I don't know why I forgot, but I thought for some reason there was like a Spirit Spring or something over here that I'd be able to go up. Or maybe there actually is. But my God, this part of the map is just so awkward to navigate around. It just feels like the place you need to go is literally right there. The end of the storm is just within reach, but there's these giant walls that I have to avoid. By the way, if you kill that red scarab there, he'll drop 2 talismans instead of just 1. I did not decide to fight it because we are really short on time, and also I did not know if I was going to start taking massive storm damage. Stay in the storm too long, it's just going to kill you instantly, basically. Decided to grab my shield. Debating on if I want to drop that weapon now or not. Yeah, I'm usually better at parrying. This run was not my best at parrying, but I also just kind of ended up using charged attacks because the magma's just so good. The poise damage is so good. And this is also when I'm really grateful that I grabbed the Symbol of Avarice, too, because killing these guys is just going to give us all the more runes. I think increased rune acquisition is actually probably a great one to have on your relics in Deep Ignite, especially if you're just kind of getting the hang of it. Maybe on some of the higher levels, too. I'm not sure. It'll be really interesting to see how my relic strategy and character strategy, map strategy changes as the levels go up. Definitely got to play more of this. Let my buddy take the revive. All that fire. Magma's insane. The fact that it just lingers there on the ground just melts them. That's right, lightning follows charge attacks that land. In hindsight, I should have actually just had that weapon equipped in my offhand. Would have done lightning and magma damage. I think I kept the shield on, though, just because I do end up parrying at a couple points. Like there. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, we fucking bullied this guy. I love that sometimes the spear will go over me when I'm attacking. Definitely didn't need to use my ultimate there, but we were just trying to be quick. Maximum HP raised. It's also amazing that we were able to get through this entire area at level 9. And for those who don't know, level 15 is the max level. None of us reach max. But this is where I think the run begins to sort of fall apart for our recluse, unfortunately. Forget what exactly happens here. Let's see if it's something that we maybe could have avoided. I think he was over there trying to just farm some extra stuff. Because once again, we're just trying to kill as much shit as possible, but man... Now that I'm thinking about it, honestly, I think one of us probably should have stuck with him. That's how he dies. Oh, no, he's back here. Okay. Oh, that's right. He dies in the storm. So we decided to go and get that. Oh, that's right. Okay, it's all come back to me. We didn't realize that there was a site of grace in front of the tunnel initially. So we thought that was the only site of grace, and I was the one that called that out. That was a horrible call on my part. Completely forgot there was the one that was down there by the tunnel. Or maybe I just thought we wouldn't make it and thought that was going to be the best. But I completely forgot about just how low Recluse's base health pool is. God, I felt so bad about that. And now I decided to ditch the was that the poison weapon I dropped? I don't know why I'm still accumulating poison. Maybe I have another weapon that's also doing it. Here we are, reaching the end of Night 2. Oh, yeah, that's right. And we found the grafted Scion was in front of here. I think we actually already knew that. Our Recluse is trying to get his runes back, I think. Some more charged R2s. God, it really is the worst feeling when you just can't get your runes back or can't catch up in time because of the storm. Very close there. Oh, a bit closer than what I usually would like for comfort, but extra physical attack is always a banger. Always a banger, as long as you're using a weapon that like makes physical contact with an enemy. With the exception of the Cypher Pata. That weapon, I'm pretty sure, is only holy damage. But this weapon's a combination of lightning and physical, so... I think we got the Battlefield Commander here. So this is where... Okay, so if I recall correctly, I'm level 13 right now. I'm going to get to level 14 by the end of the run. I think our Iron Eye hits like level 13 or 14, but unfortunately our Recluse, I think, gets stuck at like level... Is it 10 maybe or something like that? But look at just how much this ultimate carries here, though. Every hit restores our health, also restores our FP. If I was actually using my weapon skill, it would be coming in way more handy. But that move comes in clutch, especially on this final boss here. It's going to be very interesting watching me fight the boss here, as opposed to being like just actually playing it, paying attention to what he's doing. Curious to know if I'll notice anything different. Outland Commander's really easy. The beginner strat is just, you know, or the beginning start of the fight strat is basically just, you know, mark him with Iron Eye. Charge attacks. Be careful not to get greedy and get trapped in between the ghosts like I just did there, but honestly, few charge attacks and stagger him. A lot of his moves in the beginning, though, are him just summoning his people and then buffing them up, though. I thought maybe I'd be able to stagger him. I forgot he stomps there. He missed. What an idiot. This guy missed my dodge. I think I used 2 there, and I definitely did not need to. When that happened, I remember being like, oh, damn, I totally thought I had just enough frames to roll past him. Iron Eye's coming in clutch here, and then this is when I'm like, nope, we're getting you up here. Staying on Iron Eye, I can see him. But man, hitting him this close is like so awkward for no reason. There we go. Got him back up. See that he's marked. Use my ultimate. Stagger his ass. Trying to break his boys. That poison's doing him in slowly, though. That was either a poison tick or an arrow, I think, that finished him off. That's awesome. I think I decided to go with more maximum HP just because I know these guys hit like trucks. And that's a pretty generous Wilder pool right there. And it's going to get just a little bit bigger, too, once I level up. Yeah, that's a lot of health. Anyway, I ended up, I think we all ended up taking like a bathroom break there. But here we are. Not really able to buy any items. I still have a stone sword key for whatever reason. Drop that item that's giving me more poison. And this is when we're basically like, all right, remember, boys, we're just here to learn. Just here to learn. I think I might have given that to him so that he'd have some extra health regen. But yeah, Very exciting stuff. Basically just trying to communicate, like, hey, what items do we have? Are there any passives that we have that might be beneficial on other people versus us? You know, just that sort of thing. Here we go. Fulgor, champion of the Nightglow. Or of Nightglow. One thing with Fulgor I'll say is don't be afraid to try to jump over some of his attacks, like when he jumps up in the air and smashes down the ground. Whenever he swings his sword, even if it's just the projectile that's coming at you, roll towards it. You roll through it, you usually can avoid it. And a great one to take with Fulgor, a great passive to take if you're given the option at some point, is the dodging or evasive maneuvers give extra invincibility frames. Definitely a very nice one to take with him. But right now, I'm just trying to play as aggressively as I can. And anytime he charges up his attack like that, like where he just kind of starts like hugging himself basically, charging up, that's your sign to hit him with a lightning attack. But yeah, I made the mistake. Ugh. Yeah, see, I should have just been avoiding his attacks there. Focusing on survival. Yeah, we got some good stuns. We're dealing some good damage. Try throwing that at him just to see if it maybe stagger him or something. Staggered him right as he used that. Those charged R2s, man, I'm telling you, they be carrying. I think I also just decided to use my ult here. Or maybe not. Oh, you know what? I think I decided to save it for invincibility frames. Like, right there would have been an ideal time to use it. I think I did try to use it, actually, and it just didn't pop. Oh, yeah, I completely whiff it. Oh, man, I suck. Getting our buddy up. We need those heals. We're going to be running out of health soon. It's around this time I'm realizing, okay, he's farther away. I can't really close in on him. Definitely should not have done that. I tried to jump over him, actually. Go up there and I hit him. I could have also tried to use my Thunderbolt, but I think that actually would have been... I think that would have been a little slower. Okay, this move right here, very important. Surge sprint to the left of him. The camera will roll around, and then you just got to roll to the right. You're basically just running perpendicular to him. I messed it up there. Kind of allows you to see how much forgiveness you have. For that move, you just want to be as far away as possible from him. Or if he happens to be by you, I think you just want to be standing behind him, because I don't think the wave of gold will hit behind him. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, though. I am not here to spread misinformation. I'm here to watch you, or allow you guys to watch me suck ass at Nightreign and talk about it incessantly. I hope you've enjoyed. Here we go, charge him up. There we go. As the fight goes on and you break him enough times, like, or you interrupt his attack enough times, sometimes it takes a little bit more lightning damage to actually break him, so be prepared to have to hit him twice, possibly. Right here was when I was like, damn, this is nice. Hitting him on a hill, I'm actually not, like, just phasing right through him. That was super handy. Believe I say here, you get relax, you get our Iron Eye. I got this. This right here, this ult right here is what I'm fucking talking about, man. Look at that. All my health immediately back. All stamina immediately back. Iron Eye starts hitting him. Well, Iron Eye thinks it's healing, but whatever. Look at this. I'm going to restore health from my post-HP restoration relic, and on top of that, I also healed up a little bit. The execution on that end wasn't perfect, but you could totally see the synergy there, the usefulness there for sure. Here we go. Remember, those wave attacks, when he winds his sword up with the wind, all you got to do... Oh, yeah, he was charging up for his attack, or his lightning attack, and I used my ultimate on him. That was awesome. But no, all you got to do is you just got to roll through the wind or roll through the sword. His smash attacks on the ground, like this, you can roll through. I don't know if you can jump to avoid that one. I might have to test that sometime. But yeah, going absolutely crazy. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something new. If you got any questions, feel free to leave a comment, leave a like, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Have a great night.